Okay, Gold Derby fans, we are here to talk about the 2019 Oscar race for Best Supporting Actress. This is a very, very exciting race. We don't really know what's going to happen yet. I'm Marcus James Dixon. This is Chris Beachum and Joyce Ang. And Chris, I'm going to come to you first. A lot of people have Regina King in their number one slots for If Beale Street Could Talk. Is that who you have? And who do you think could unseat her?
I do have her in first, at least for now. We're going to know so much more about Oscar races, once we start seeing the precursors. But it's a really good role. She gets something a supporting player rarely gets in a movie, and that she's got her own little arc in the middle of the movie or toward the end of the movie, where she gets her own little storyline. So that's pretty rare for a supporting. And she has fooled me 3 times at the Emmys. I have never predicted her to win, and she has won 3 Emmys. So I'm sort of along that mindset of Regina, you're not fooling me again.
And Joyce?
I have had Amy Adams there, just kind of like by default, even though Vice has been largely unseen. But I have Regina second. I mostly have Amy there just because of the overdue factor. She's 0 for 5, and this could be the one. Although I've said before, I don't think I ever pictured Lynn Chaney being like her Oscar-winning role, but we'll see. I do think Regina has a good chance of getting in there and taking it. Just what Chris said, even though the TV Academy is different from the Film Academy, but she is a veteran actress. She's been working for like 30 years. She's been in Best Picture nominees, and it is a very good role for her. And she has a lot of good scenes, like in the beginning of the movie and towards the end. And it's like subtly baity. That the whole picture is very slow burn, but she's very good at it. And she's like one of those people like you love to eventually reward in like both supporting races. We've seen time and time again, just like a veteran actress who finally gets that role and you just give it to them.
And when she's not on screen in Beale Street, I'm like, bring back Regina. Where's Regina? I want more Regina King. And Chris, it wasn't just you who was surprised by her 3 Emmy wins. It was, I think, all of Gold Derby collectively. I think we got it wrong 3 in a row. So now I think people are on this pattern of, okay, if Regina's up for an award, we need to predict her because she is so beloved in the industry, not just TV, but film. I think we're going to see coming up.
It's such a charming person in real life. I could imagine her, talking to these Golden Globe voters, talking to a SAG at a SAG Q&A panel, doing the parties that they have to do. I could see her really charming people when she's out. Not that Amy Adams can't do that either. That's the thing about Amy Adams, is it would be her 6th nomination. When Kate Winslet got to 6, people were like foaming at the mouth trying to figure out how to give her an Oscar. So people get in this 5, 6, 7 range, and it turns into something else sometimes. We haven't seen the movie. We haven't seen what she does. So it's hard to say. And she was really surprisingly snubbed for Arrival, just even getting in.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
And she has Sharp Objects this year too, which could help her.
Be a double Golden Globe nominee and SAG nominee.
Yeah. And Regina too, with 7 seconds, she could be a double Globe nominee or winner. It's funny, remember 2 months ago, before we knew Amy was going supporting, everyone was saying she could go lead for Vice, and it could be Glenn Close versus Amy Adams. And what do they do if you have the 2 overdue actresses? But I'm glad they're in separate categories.
But it's also like, are they also going to give 2 overdue actresses Oscars on the same night?
We shall see. What about the favorite? So we have Emma Stone, we have Rachel Weisz going up against each other.
I have both of them getting in. Rachel was actually my favorite of all 3 of them. So and she hasn't been back since she won, so I hope she makes it back. And she beat Amy last time, so that'll be a nice rematch. I can see them both getting in, and like Emma, like she's like, this is like a great post-win role for her, because I think she was filming this like while she was campaigning for La La Land, or she started like right afterwards. So I think this is exactly the type of like afterglow nomination they would like to give her. I don't see her winning. I mean, it's not impossible, but it kind of feels like, like everyone is crowding around Olivia and lead for that movie. So I feel like both of them could get in, but they might just feel like slot fillers, just, nominees for now. But, we'll see.
I don't have them getting in anymore. I had them both.
Oh.
I've got an overcrowded field and wasn't sure what to do with them. With them both being past winners, I wonder if that will, not that past winners don't get in all the time, but having two from the same movie, and then their roles are both really strong in the movie. I don't know how you choose one over the other, but I was convinced if you were going to go Sandra Oh at the Emmys as a nomination, you were also going to go Jodie Comer. I couldn't imagine the person watching Killing Eve that wouldn't vote for both, and they picked one out of the two. So shows you what I know. But I almost wonder if it would be better for one of them if the other one didn't make it, because if it turns out that they both get in for nominations, I really do think they would cancel each other out in that particular type of field that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if anyone, maybe Joyce, you've done an article on every time co-stars are up against each other. And
oh yeah, I did that a couple weeks ago. But this would be, if they both get in, this would be the 35th time multiple nominees from the same film got into supporting actress. Like, this category has a lot of co-star nominees.
But when there is a winner, like Melissa Leo over
they like dominate the season. Usually.
They dominate the season, and there's a clear one that everybody goes, well, that's the better, not even necessarily the performance, but that's the better role. That's the more
Octavia Spencer.
Role. I watched this movie, and all three ladies were equal in my mind in terms of pretty close to screen time and impact on the movie. So I don't know how you would split up and pick one or the other as a voter.
Well, I'm looking at the overall Gold Derby odds that combine the experts' predictions and the editors and our top 24 and all of that. Regina's predicted to win, and then Amy Adams, and then Emma Stone. Fourth place we haven't mentioned yet, Claire Foy for First Man. I have a funny story with this. I went with a friend who doesn't know a lot about awards or Oscars or any of that. And after the movie, I said, what from this movie stood out? What do you think is going to get Oscar attention? And she goes, oh, The Wife. The Wife was so good. So Claire Foy, you have a fan.
Not to be confused with the movie The Wife.
Yes. She wasn't talking about Glenn Close. She was talking about
this is not some Crown major fan. This is somebody that didn't really know who Claire Foy was.
Right.
That's a really good sign.
It is. And I mean, Claire Foy was amazing.
She's great in it. And like, she just, it's the long suffering wife role, but she really like does a lot with very little in it. And, she has a couple of good scenes here and there, like yelling at Kyle Chandler, and then the ending scene is really good too. And yelling at Ryan Gosling. And I mean, you could have two recent Emmy winners going head to head with her and Regina.
Well, and Nicole, that's another recent Emmy winner, not from this year, but we haven't mentioned Nicole Kidman, but Boy Erased is not way off the mark from what I saw her do in Lion. A very loving, devoted mother. She's definitely the good parent as opposed to Russell Crowe's character, and has a couple of really strong. She's kind of sort of flitters in and out, and then has a couple of really strong scenes. Mm-hmm. So she might be a double nominee this year with also Destroyer and Lead. They love her at the Oscars.
I think
Boy Erased did really well, like in limited release, like this weekend too. So I mean, it could, when it goes wide, it could, that the box office could definitely help. Not that you always need huge box office numbers, but it can't hurt.
I think she was even better in Boy Erased than she was in Lion. It's just more impactful role. And so if she got in for that, I mean, I can't imagine her not getting in for this.
She's another one that's really out on the campaign trail and just such an impressive career after, a lot of actresses don't get the roles after they turn.
She also should have a lot more nominations than she does. Like, she only has 4. Like, she should be in like the 6-7 range.
Mm. What about Michelle Yeoh? I know there's a huge push for her.
I would love it if she got in. That would be great, because there's, we don't have a lot of Asian performers getting in. The last actress to get in was Futun Kikuchi 12 years ago. So, and she was great in the movie. I feel like she'll be like their main push for that. I can see her getting into Globes and SAGs. Like, I think that will, like, that movie itself would play well with a group like SAG. But my fear is that like she'll get snubbed at the end, kind of like Hong Chau did last year. But the difference is that Downsizing was not a hit at all, like commercially or critically. So
I was having this debate with somebody in the forums, and they brought up Hong Chau, which is sort of, it's a little bit racist in terms of, just
I know.
If this Asian actress couldn't get in, then this one can't. Downsizing tanked at the box office and with critics.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a surprise she got in as many places as she did. I think the majority of voters, let's take it beyond majority, the great majority of voters are going to see Crazy Rich Asians if they haven't already. So that could also be a sag on some.
And she's also a cinema icon. Like she's been working for 30 years. Like people know who she is. Like they've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Yeah, I have it in for a SAG ensemble too. Chris, do you want to list off some names we haven't mentioned yet before we close it out?
Let me say who's in my second slot.
One of
the first to see Natalie Portman. I saw it Friday night to get ready for an interview yesterday, and that'll publish soon. She's something else in this movie. I'm going to tell you, and it's not a matter of should she have been lead. I don't think it's giving anything away to say the movie's kind of split in half. It's her character young, like teenage, the first half of the movie, and then it skips a few years and jumps to her the second half of the movie as an older, not older, but an older version of that character in her 30s. So she is explosive. She's funny. She's got she's a lot like, now that I think about it, I hadn't made this judgment in my mind. She's got this over-the-topness like Allison Janney last year.
Oh.
Not that she's evil in that way.
And they're both from Neon.
Just that over-the-topness, stomping her feet and getting on people's backs and I don't even want to say too much in terms of what she's playing and who's. Plus, they've got her. I mean, sort of like I remember Allison. You always remember the bird and the hair and the costumes. She's got. If you've seen any photos, she's got these really interesting costumes, makeup. I might get into those categories.
She's out there campaigning.
I've got her winning at the Globes.
Wow.
She did a whole day yesterday just with Hollywood Foreign Press, and then I came in at the end. So,
and they gave her the Globe for Closer.
And Black Swan. She's a favorite of theirs. They love child actors that grow up and are successful in the industry. But anyway, that's somebody to really look out for that nobody's hardly seen yet. Let me look at the list here.
Margot Robbie.
Other people in our forums want Tilda Swinton. I know Daniel wants Tilda Swinton. She plays 3 different roles in Suspiria, and that's past Oscar winner. So if they're watching that, Marina de Tavira, I don't know how you say her name. She plays the mother in the movie. And from what somebody told me, she could speak English and Spanish, so she's been out really at the forefront of the promotion of the movie, along with Alfonso. So here she is in supporting. That's somebody that might could get recognized. Margot Robbie, nobody's hardly seen Mary Queen of Scots, but there's somebody returning from last year's slate, and it's supposed to be kind of an over-the-top role. We never overlook Meryl Streep. Of course, we want to see what she's doing in this movie, but she's gotten in for almost everything she's ever done. So if she's got any kind of what if she's like the villain in this movie? We don't know, but I mean, that's something she hardly ever gets to play. Then
from Mary Poppins.
I know some people want Sissy Spacek. I wouldn't be shocked on Linda Cardellini. She's somebody that's been working in a lot of good films and TV for a long time. She's got Green Book. And then the only other one I would mention is, where did she go? Maura Tierney on Beautiful Boy.
Yeah.
She's got that. There's really only 3 characters in the movie that you pay close attention to. She's the only woman, obviously, with Steve and Timothy. So she's got that. She's the stepmother. She
has a car chase scene
toward the end. Yeah. So don't overlook her. She's gotten in at the Emmys a couple of times. She's gotten in one at the Golden Globes for TV. So she's somebody well respected.
You just named like 15 people. How do we narrow this down to 5?
We did that on actor and actress too. It's a fun year, I think. I think I know the 5, at least according to my predictions, but we're definitely going to rely on the precursors.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for watching. Go make your predictions at Gold Derby or update them if you've already made them. And we will be back with many more of these video chats and slugfest throughout the season. Thanks for watching.